Hi people, today I'm bringing you this book, Reeducation by Justina, Ireland, and I have to say that I love this one. There's lots of things going on in this book that are amazing, but I think that for me, the main focus of this book is the representation we are going to find and racism. We are going to find lots of ideas that sadly were true, and I think that somehow, sadly, in 2020 they still hold true about black people being different, being inferior, being a bunch of people that deserve to be enslaved, so the white people can do nothing, being lazy, and have this bunch of people doing everything for them. So we're going to find this book. It's going to be like Confederate America, and we are going to follow more or less the historical line, but here we're going to have the inclusion of zombies. In this book they are called shamblers, and I have to say that for one part it looks like it's like an excuse that the author has created this plot about these fantastical creatures, these shamblers that suddenly the dead doesn't stay dead, they rise up and began eating each other, and so the plague spreads. And but it's not exactly an excuse, because it's amazing how it all goes well with the plot. And we have the society, as I'm saying, that we this Confederate America, in which there is these shamblers that one day they began rising, as I say, and began eating each other. So the people from America just began thinking ways of stopping them, because it seems like they cannot be stopped because they are already dead. And with all the zombie legends, you know that you have to decapitate them to stop them. So what happens here? We are in that moment in time in which there was people who began saying that black people deserve rights and they don't deserve to be enslaved, working in plantations and all of those things that happen in the South. And here we are going to have the survivalists that defend that the black people have to be enslaved and have to be treated as inferior because they are not human, but another I don't know the word how to say that now, but they are closer to the monkey than to the human beings. And we are going to have one other part of the population that says that we are all equal and that black people should be treated equally. One thing that surprised me a lot in this book, and that it really hurts, for me it hurts because it's the way in which people from different cultures, people with different skin colors are treated in this book. I mean, you're reading this book and you're feeling all this racism, all this way in which black people, native people, Indian people have been treated. They're not called black people, they're called Negroes, and they call colored people. And during the book you're reading all these sentences from people who think that they have the right to say that Negroes are inferior species, that they deserve to be enslaved, and that they have to lie down their lives so the white people can survive. And it was I was reading the book, and for me it hurts because I believe that everyone is equal. But sadly, as I say, we are in 2020 and we still find lots of racism, lots of hating someone not for who they are or for how they talk, but for the color of their skin. So reading this book has made all those topics come, make me aware of how much words, how much thoughts can hurt another person. And having black people compared to cattle. And in this book we are going to see there is this school called the Miss Preston School for Black Girls. Well, it's more derogatory, like Negro girls. And when girls are of an age, like, I don't know, it was around 12 or so, they are picked from their families and they're sent to these schools. And it's like all this big liberation movement, and yeah, we are paying you for your education, we are going to make something of profit from you, you are are going to learn how to fight, and you are going to learn how to protect white people. And this is very honorable. If you don't do that, you can keep working as a slave in a plantation and having a life that's so, you know. So we are just the best people in the world because we are offering you a chance to be so much more. So yeah, they have this school in which they train these people, these black people, to be like these fighters against the zombie, the shamblers. And we are going to follow our main character, is a girl called Jane, and the book it's written from her point of view. And I did love the slang that she uses, the way she talks, like she will talk as a black person, and I love that because it made me feel like I was more connected to her own ways and to her own culture. And I love that there were parts in the book where she talks about braiding her hair and things like that, and about the different types of hair that you can find in a black person. And I don't know, they may seem silly things, but for me it's amazing because I'm not black. And learning how these people cope with different things, I don't know, for me some years back I didn't know anything about the kind of hair, how they have to tame it with different products, and how they use oils and coconut I think it is, and different things. So for me it's I want to know more because I want to understand. And I love that there is places in the world, real places, where there's this black people teaching white mothers that have adopted black sons and daughters how to deal with the air, because it's a very different deep type of air. So yeah, for me it's amazing. And yeah, I'm getting out of topic here, but yeah, I love a book that makes me think not only about the racism but also how other people see the world and feel the world. So yeah, so we are going to find Jane, where she's been taught about how to kill zombies, shamblers, and how she has to act like a lady, but not very ladylike because she's black and she doesn't deserve much more. And she has this nemesis that they end being friends. It's not a big spoiler because you can see it in the beginning of the book. That's called Catherine, and she is so light in color that she can pass as a white person. And we're going to have a lot of exploration about that because there is a moment in the book in which she's asked to pass as a white person, and she doesn't want to do it because she's black and she feels like she owns something to her own people, something like I am who I am, I'm not ashamed. And there's going to be lots of things about these kind of things in this book. Lots of things about these kind of things. Okay, yeah, I'm a big scatterer today, but I hope that you can follow me. So we are going to follow these two girls because they are being sent into a big trap, and we are going to follow them in this amazing journey, which I'm not going to say much more about it because I want you to be surprised as I was when I was reading the book. But during all this journey, we are going to learn about their lives, about what they left behind in order to get sent to this school, to this Preston school, that they try to teach them how to be these amazing weapons so they can serve the white persons in another way. And there's something that I didn't know, and the author at the end of the book talks about these schools, and it seems they were a thing. I didn't know about it. And they were this kind of schools in which Americans say, hey, yeah, and we are going to show you how everything works. And they were sending native people there, Indian people, to these schools, and they weren't trying to teach them new things. They were trying to teach them how to be Americans, to erase their own culture, to erase everything they had. And for me, when I was in school, not in school, in the university, I did some kind of thesis about native people, and I didn't know that, and I think it's shameful that I didn't know that. And for me, it's always been a very hot topic, what happened to them, how all of them were thrown away from their own homes. They had their land stripped from them, and they had to convert to Christianity, or they were just called savages, and they had to be eradicated. So knowing that the things that the author depicted in this book were real, and that there was people that were taken from their homes, from their families, and they were forced to undergo this education, that the only thing that they tried to do was erase their own uniqueness. It made all the book all the more hurtful. I mean, it's an amazing read. You're going to love this book, but it makes you think a lot about differences. Just because your skin is not the same color of another person. So sometimes I think that white people like me doesn't realize exactly how easy we have it compared to other people. I mean, being judged just because you're black. Entering into a store and having people follow you because they think that you're going to steal things just because you're black. Or being accused of something because you're black. Or that, it's like boom. I cannot believe that we are in 2020 and we're still thinking that people are going to be evil or they're going to be less judging by color. It's like, what? So, as I say, this book is amazing because it follows these two girls, Jen and Catherine, and we are going to follow the adventures, this journey in which they are going to be grown by people and they're going to send to this new city where everyone is trying to make a new world, but they're going to learn that everything is not what it seems. It's set for racism, for the relative way in which black people are treated, and we are going to have people preaching that black people are inferior, and we are going to find this girl, this Jane, trying to come to terms with her infancy. We're going to have glimpses of her infancy and how her mother talked to her, because at the beginning of every chapter we're going to have this. I'm trying to show you. We are going to find this at the beginning of every chapter, and in the first half of the book there are letters that Jane writes to her mother, and in the last half of the book there are letters that her mother wrote to her, and we are going to learn more about her infancy, about her life. And she comes from a very rich place. She was born in a plantation, and her mother treated Negroes, as they call in the book, black people, very equally. And she looked like she was crazy. She was a weird one. Probably she was doing that because she was having sex with everyone and she was a slut. But I love that there was people there, and as there is people today that were standing up for people who are different and who had a better chance at life and giving them something more so they can construct better lives. So for me that was an amazing book, and yeah, I know I'm talking more about the issues this book raised with me than the plot itself, but it's amazing. You can read the plot in here and read the first pages in Amazon or in a library or wherever, and because as I say, it's a story about two girls facing bad people and a lot of shamblers, and it's an amazing because the plot is very well constructed. The characters are all of them amazing, and it makes you feel what they're feeling, the sadness, the rage, the happiness, everything. And I also love that there is a lot of representation about sexuality also, because we are going to find a character who's bisexual. She likes both things, but guys and girls, and we are going to find a character who's completely asexual. She doesn't feel like liking anyone. She accepts what she is, and for me that's amazing because we don't only have the representation about different skin colors and about racism and about how bad society can be to other people based on crazy ideas, but we also have this representation about different sexualities and ways of living. So for me it's amazing, and I can rant about this book like forever because I love it, but I'm going to recommend it to you. The second part comes out on February the 4th, I think. So yeah, I'm going to pick it up. Be sure that you check this one out, because if you like books about inclusion and representation, this one is amazing. The plot, it's like out of this world. It kept me glued to the pages. I didn't know what was going to happen, and it's amazing, and I love all the characters because they were so constructed, and as I say, all the issues it raised on me. So yeah, this review is going to be like 12 minutes long. I'm sorry for that. So thank you for watching, and bye.